So, I was about to make a video telling you guys that we can't have fans in the stadium in the city of Philadelphia. However, now we're getting more clarification from the city of Philadelphia with some more details. And there is a possibility of fans in the stands in the city of Philadelphia. All right, y'all, let's get it. What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever did you get around to watching this, folks? Once again, my name is Steven Hyder, and this is Gate City Sports Channel. All right, y'all, today's topic. Will we or won't we be able to watch Philadelphia Eagles games from the link? Who knows? That's going to be the takeaway point here. So, yesterday, some city officials, right? I believe it was the city board in Philadelphia, had made a statement that a lot of people interpreted it to mean there would be absolutely no fans in the stadium, although Phillies and Eagle games would be allowed to be played, just without attendance. However, now we're getting clarification to say that the event moratorium, okay, this was an event moratorium on the impact of professional sports, has now come around to say, no, slow down, guys. And I'll put up some of it here so you can see. Now it's saying, and I'll read it word for word for you guys, clarification on event moratorium's impact on professional sports. The city of Philadelphia's event moratorium announcement yesterday does not apply to stadiums or other private property. Good news for Eagle fans. Doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet, guys. It covers only events that require city permits and take place on public property. So, no permitted events will be going on, guys. Which that's a little different. Still not the greatest outcome. I mean, it still seems like we're going to be kind of walking half-heartedly into this. So what it says is specifically, with regards to the 2020 NFL season, the Eagles and the city of Philadelphia remain in close communication. Both entities are committed to the health and safety of the players, employees, fans, and community. The city and the Eagles have been working together during this time and will continue to do so. The Eagles have been planning for a variety of scenarios in accordance with league protocols as well as local and state guidelines, right? Whole idea of bureaucracy. You got layers of it. So they're trying to meet each and every layer from the city to federal guidelines, to state guidelines, to the NFL's guidelines, right? So you have this umbrella that they're trying to meet here. Currently, in the initial modified green phase, the city of Philadelphia prohibits outdoor events involving more than 50 people, as basically the majority of the country does. These restrictions do apply to Lincoln Financial Field. However, this is a fluid situation. Guys, that's a major walk back in statement to say it's a fluid situation, meaning they can change their minds. And this policy is under constant review. Discussions between the city and the Eagles are ongoing, which they've already stated. As the season approaches, the Eagles will continue to communicate directly with their season ticket members and fans. So, guys, this is a really complicated situation, right? Because we're talking about potentially losing a lot of revenue on one hand, but then on the other hand, you're talking about potentially losing lives. It's a really, really fine line everyone's trying to walk here. This is not an easy thing to discern, guys. I'm going to admit. I don't know that I, would have an answer to this, guys. Like that's a really, really tough decision that's coming down. Because the NFL is a major, like, moneymaker for a lot of cities, okay? It's one of, NFL events and professional sporting events in general sometimes really stimulate the economies of cities. So I think the question becomes here is you can see they're walking a fine line to say, what improvements can these professional organizations, specifically the NFL, make to make us feel comfortable with it? Earlier on, I heard a lot of people talking that were saying that, hey, the concern isn't with the players. The concern is that the spread could be in the stands, person-to-person transmission, people going to go get a drink and being in close proximity to each other, sitting near each other. How do you socially regulate people like that? How do you socially distance people in that type of situation? all that stuff was coming into play. You know, we got the news about the new NFL face mask. If you guys haven't had a chance to see that, I'll try to put a picture up for you guys real quick. But these face masks, guys, I mean, if you look at them, there's been some concern. Some people are saying like players could be claustrophobic, although no one has reported that particular concern yet about the face mask. Some people feel that they could cause issues with claustrophobia. You heard J.J. Watt said that he's not claustrophobic, but he doesn't want anything that could limit his vision, right? That's why he doesn't like to wear a face mask. He said he did it like his rookie year, a couple of years when he was a young man, and said that it really sets players up to be absolutely leveled on the football field and not seeing what's coming. Although I think it maybe would even out those kind of things if everybody's wearing them, so there wouldn't be an advantage there. I think that would even things out a little bit. But I mean, we see kind of pushback and concerns here. This is going to be a hard thing to do, guys, because let's be real. How do you socially distance in a football game? You know, I think a lot of guys, we might hate it, but some of them are right, man. Like, you can't socially distance on a double team, right? You can't socially distance down in the trenches. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be a tough situation, guys. I mean, I think we all know we won football. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't have a personal bias towards wanting to have this form of entertainment. Because I'm going to be honest and I'm going to be real. I want an NFL season. But I also realize that these people are human beings, and we do need to be considerate of their health and their family's health. And the other thing I'll talk about, guys, since we have this topic going, and Kevin Cronin, this kind of ties into some of what you were asking me, so I figure we might as well just tackle all this today with the NFL is, you know, what happens if we go to a rolled out fan in attendance thing? So let's say that we say 25% capacity, like the Baltimore Ravens and some other teams have said. Who gets the 25%? Because I would think that that's a number that's really close to the season ticket holder number. So what happens to the rest of us? I mean, are they just going to basically limit it to only season ticket holders being in attendance? That would be a really tough sporting event for me to go to. Without the full fanfare, you know, some team, basically the teams that come out and said the 25% also said no tailgating. They're not going to allow tailgating in the NFL, or outside of their stadiums, not the NFL, but outside of their stadiums. It just really takes away from the fan experience. Like, then it's kind of like, wouldn't it be better to be able to eat and be in the comfort of your home and possibly be with your family, so that way there's more of an experience? Like, it kind of really takes away from the experience in itself. But let's be real. There are other concerns too outside of the players and outside of the fans. Some of these coaches, let's call a spade a spade. They're very unhealthy. They're obese. They're very susceptible to catching this disease, or catching this virus, not disease, catching this virus, and then that transmission of that virus being really bad for them, right? That they could be those people that end up being hospitalized. So we also have to be concerned about our elderly coaches who are not in good standing with their health. That's another aspect to this, right? This is a clustered mess, guys. I don't even know how to express how crazy of a situation we are in right now with the NFL and all this crap going on, guys. Like, this is a crazy, crazy circumstance here. I think we all know that. We got people trying to figure out mask technology to contain it within the mask, right? We're trying to figure out, even if you do that, like, I mean, are they going to have hand sanitizers on the sideline? Because as an offensive lineman or defensive lineman, you got to get your hands on people. So you get your hands on somebody, you ain't got your hands cleaned up, you go touching your face and everything else. I mean, that's a possible threat of actually spreading this virus. Like, guys, this is going to be so difficult because you can't socially distance in football the way you can in baseball, the way you can in golf, the way you can in other sports. But dang, I'm not going to lie, guys. I said it already. I really, really, really want an NFL season. I can't help but to be selfish here and say that I really want it, but I also want these guys to be safe. I don't want anything really damaging and really bad happening. And, we also got to consider, if you play a season, will the NFL drastically expand the roster for teams? They're already talking about scaling back the roster when it comes to training camps, right? To going from 90 to 80 guys, which we can talk about how that would impact the roster, right? We got from 90 to 80 guys. Some guys that might have had a fighting chance be let go. Think of an Adrian Killins. Think of Michael Warren, guys having an opportunity to show themselves yet, who I think, if given the opportunity, might be able to shine. Could that impact them, right? But past that, I mean, wouldn't you expand your rosters in season though? Because what happens when your defensive coordinator and his second in command, like whether that's your linebacker coach, your defensive line coach, your secondary coach, they both end up becoming sick with this virus, and now they're down for a couple of weeks. I mean, could be a really bad thing. What about the player and personnel side? What if you start getting, multiple quarterbacks and receivers and, position groups that are meeting start spreading this to one another? Like, it's going to be a crazy season, guys. I don't even know where to go, guys. But listen, do me a favor, man. Let me know your thoughts here, because I'm going to tell you I am far from an expert when it comes to this. Number one, tell me what you think about the face mask thing, the NFL and their face mask situation. Number two, tell me what you think about fans in the stadium, because now we're seeing the city of Philadelphia walk back these comments. And then number three, let me know what you think about taking the 90-man roster and possibly making it 80-man roster for camp, and how that might impact those 10 spots that would have otherwise been on the roster. Do you think somebody who should be given an opportunity might get knocked out as a result of that? And then lastly, what do you think about the expansion of the roster, guys? What do you think about expanding the regular season roster so that way we can cover ourselves for COVID spread? Because that's the thing, right? Expanding your roster and maybe even expanding your game day roster, which on one hand helps you because now you have more bodies. On the other hand, hurts you because now you got more bodies. So you're compounding more people into the space. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Like I said, man, you know how I'm not an expert, so let me know your thoughts, guys. All right, y'all. You know how we end these videos. We do a little EAGLES. All right, y'all. Let's go, Eagles.